New York Comic-Con is one of the largest fan events in the country. We were there and interviewed some rather fascinating people. In this report, we will be meeting the cast of the new show, Ash vs. the Evil Dead. We also met with comic book legend Todd McFarlane, psychologist and author Travis Langley, and Frank Spotnitz, the executive producer of The Man in the High Castle. Plus, Constance interviewed the talented and popular voice actor Troy Baker. It was great meeting the cast of Ash vs. Evil Dead, and they were kind enough to give us an idea of what we can expect.
They're going to get everything they need, which is carnage, mayhem 24/7, and one-liners on top of it. So, and a decent story that will hopefully propel them through multiple seasons.
It's going to go off, because I think all the fans, all their hopes and dreams will be really catered to. They're going to love it.
The diehard fans are going to be so happy because Sam Raimi, he really did the fans proud. They're going to see a lot of iconic moments in Evil Dead. They're going to see that on the show, which is really awesome.
I'm just so grateful to be a part of something that has been a long time coming and exists because of the love of the fans. And Sam and Bruce and Rob took such passion in telling this story that I think anything made with that much passion and excitement is a gift to the fans, and I think they're really gonna love it.
This is an amazing experience. As a kid, I wanted to be the guy being chased by the monster, and I wanted to be the hero. And I was a huge horror fanatic, and now in my adult life, I get to do that. I get to go to work, and I get to be chased by the monster, and I get to be part of the hero squad, and I get to make people laugh, and I get to be covered in blood every day. Who would not want to do that for a living?
Actress Lucy Lawless told us a bit about her character.
She's a great manipulator, so she doesn't get her hands too dirty, which I love about this role. But she's, I've never played a character who's obsessive, and she's a little myopic about Ash Williams. She just wants to destroy him. She's kind of in love with him in a really negative way, you know?
Sounds like my first marriage.
Yeah, it's just like your first marriage. Remember that?
Of course, no interview would be complete unless we asked about the new cosplay opportunities the show would provide.
Oh, we have a brand new costume for all kinds of new reasons. You'll see. Oh, more creatures for sure, and more characters. So there's other characters they can dress up as, not just Ash. So I'm looking forward to see what they glom onto.
You know what? There is a suit that I wore that might be. That'd be really cool, though, to see a Halloween Amanda Fisher. That'd be kind of cool.
Are you looking forward to seeing people dressed as your characters?
You know, I am. I don't even know how to comprehend that yet. I'm hearing it in theory, and I think it's one of those things. I'm going to have to see it to believe it. So that's a challenge. Whoever comes up with the best Kelly costume, you're going to get a prize that I don't want to promise right now, but remind me of this, and I'll tell you get a prize.
She'll retweet you.
That's perfect. And
Yeah.
I'll give you a hug. If I see you in person, I'll give you a hug.
I definitely think that there are going to be some people at some future cons rocking the Prince Kramer dude that I got on top of my head with a little thin mustache. I mean, I'm not sure that it's going to happen, but I think it is going to happen. People have been already telling me, and so I'm looking forward to seeing some Pablos out there.
Ever wonder who these actors would cosplay? Well, we did, and we asked.
What would you dress as?
I was Zorro as a kid. I would do Zorro, because capes are cool. I can see why Elvis wore a cape. Or I would do Elvis. I played Elvis, but he's just a great, walk around in those jumpsuits is awesome.
That is great to hear. So, do you sing as well?
I sing in 4 flats, but I get thrown out of 5 of them. It's a long story.
I'd be the lumpy space princess, for sure.
Oh, Superwoman, probably. I mean, I think I would try to get inside my mom, because my mom was a federal investigator for 40 years. And so, there's a lot of Amanda Fisher that I see. I pulled from my mom. So, it'd be Superwoman. I'd try to dress like my mom.
What would I choose? I would probably say the Incredible Hulk, because as an Italian, I identify with anger issues.
If I were to come in costume, I think I would want to be dressed as Xena.
Don't let Lucy hear you.
I think she could probably do it better than I can.
We wish we could have spent more time with these talented people, but unfortunately we had to say goodbye. I think they had fun too. Comics legend Todd McFarlane had a few words to say about cosplay.
I think it's cool. When I walk around, I mean, as you know, I would say cosplay is no different than any other occupation like art. There's some really great, brilliant stuff. There's some kind of ugly stuff and a bunch in between, right? But when you see the really fantastic ones, you marvel at it, right? You go, people have spent a lot of time in their garage manufacturing and building stuff, and they're almost like mini celebrities themselves because they got a crowd of people taking photos around them. So I think it's cool.
He also had some great news for fans of Spawn.
I just finished writing the first draft of the new reboot for a Spawn movie. That one, I'll put it away. I just put it away. It's a little bit long, so I'll put it away for about 30, 40 days, come back, do a second draft. And then I'm sure I'll have to do a third and fourth, but after the second one, I'll go into Hollywood at that point and go hook a couple of actors, and we'll just get it going.
I think I speak for all Todd McFarlane fans when I say we really, really can't wait for the Spawn movie.
It'd be dark, scary, and R-rated. That's the movie I'm writing right now. Yeah.
Author and psychologist Travis Langley was on hand in costume and gave us his thoughts on cosplay.
In general, like people think, oh, that sounds crazy. Are they going to get lost in their character? I've never known any cosplay person, any cosplayer, to get so lost in their character they don't know who they are. It is a participatory fandom. You know, we love to celebrate and feel a greater connection to these things we love instead of just passively watching. With cosplay, it is participatory fandom. You're taking part in it, a new connection to these characters. Some people, they're cosplaying because that character looks right for them. The majority, it's because it's something they love. I'm dressing like a Jedi today because I love Star Wars. I've had a few people say, it's like, well, why not Sith? Well, you are following the wrong path. I also dress as a character from Doctor Who, a very specific one, because I love Doctor Who, and because it's the one version of the Doctor who has a beard.
So the War Doctor?
Yes, I cosplay as the War Doctor, correct.
We're very excited about The Man in the High Castle, a series based on Philip K. Dick's masterpiece of alternate history. Frank Spotnitz, executive producer who worked to adapt the novel for the small screen, was able to give us some insight into the series.
You know, it's about the Nazis and the Japanese having won World War II. And it's set in America in 1962, and so the war is long over, and it's just people getting on with their lives in defeat. And it really haunted me, because I think I was so used to TV and movies where we win, where the good guys always win somehow. And the idea of a world where you don't was so unsettling to me that the book stayed with me. And then I was offered the opportunity to adapt it a couple years ago, and I couldn't say no.
How close to the original book are you staying?
I think we're very, very close in some ways. I think we're very close to the central characters and to the themes of the book and the ideas that he had, which are so incredible and so far ahead of his time. But we have made some changes because it is a TV series, not a book. So we've had to add some characters and sort of build out the world, but all with the intent of being consistent with his intention. The biggest change we made is that in the book, the man in the High Castle has written a book where the Allies won the war. And that's the thing that's sort of mind-bending. And in the TV series, it's not a book, it's films. It's films that show a world where we won the war.
Of course, with the new series, there could be some cosplay opportunities.
I imagine not too many people are going to want to necessarily cosplay the bad guys.
Right.
But are there going to be iconic, identifiable enough costumes of the heroes for them to cosplay?
Yeah, I guess so, because it's period, so everybody's in period dress in the 1960s, but it's a past that never existed, right? So it's wardrobe that would exist in this world. Yeah, but in terms of the bad guys, you really only have, the Imperial Japanese, and they're wearing the real uniforms they would have worn. And then you have our Nazis, and their uniforms are slightly different because most of the Nazis in our show are American Nazis. So their armband, for instance, it's the swastika, and it's red on one side, and it's stripes of the American flag on the other side. But yeah, it's always tricky when you're dealing with things like fascism. You know how much role playing you really want to do.
Voice actor Troy Baker also shared his thoughts about cosplay.
To me, it's one of the best demonstrations, not of fandom, but of community. There was a point in the panel that we did today where I said, reminding people that if you don't fit in, don't try to, because that means you stand out. And I think the world is led by people and made by people who stand out. So there's a lot of kids or even adults that will go to their job or go to school or whatever that walk around feeling really, really weird in normal clothes. But as soon as they break out of that and they're able to kind of tap into their inner nerd and really show that, and I've seen some incredible cosplay. I mean, like, I always ask people, like, how long did you spend on that? People are like, oh my God, this is 3 months. We were able to do this. How much of it was made versus bought? I love getting into conversations with the cosplayers because it, to me, again, is one of the best demonstrations of, I care about this so much, let me show you, as opposed to, it's giving back as opposed to just taking.
Yeah. He also answered a very important question.
Who would win in a fight, Vamp or Ocelot?
Is Phil still here? No, Ocelot, absolutely Ocelot. Ocelot would destroy him, clearly. Hey, Phil, Vamp would good. Oh, he's gone again. Ocelot would destroy him.
You heard it here, folks. Ocelot would win.
Then he let us know what new projects we could expect to see soon.
We're wrapping up Uncharted 4, which will be out in March. This comes out in March as well. We're talking about the DC Lego Superhero Justice League Cosmic Clash. Did I say it right? God.
Sounded pretty right to me.
Code names, and then when we come out, we're like, that's the name you went with. Okay. The final episode of Tales from the Borderlands is coming out this month. I know, it's so sad to see it go, but it's so good. It's so good. There's a couple other surprises that are coming at the first of the year.
That's it for this report. Check out the links to expanded interviews with Todd McFarlane, Travis Langley, Frank Spotnitz, and Troy Baker. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our episodes and special reports.